Welcome back to another reading from Hot Flash Divas. Today we'll be reading chapter 16 titled The Hunt Begins. On Wednesday at 10, I tapped on Letitia's doorframe and poked my head inside her glass cubicle. "Phoenix, girl, get yourself in here and give me a hug." I leaned down and let her smash me in an embrace. Letitia hugged from the heart. My heart hammered in my chest as I eased into the chair across from her desk. What if I don't actually qualify on my salary alone? I don't want to move into an apartment again. Memories of my last apartment dwelling experience flooded my mind. The computer whiz next door, who left for Christmas and turned his heat down so low that his pipe burst and flooded both of our apartments. I never forget the engineer who lived above me that walked like Bigfoot. I could hear him urinate, and when he flushed, the sound of rushing water in the pipe swooshed behind my bathroom wall. Letitia spoke up, distracting me from my memories. "I've been working like a crazy woman since Monday. Your excellent credit rating made my job easier. You've hit the rates at a good time, too." I settled and sighed with relief. I blinked back tears that sprang to my eyes. "I'm so relieved to hear that good news." She whirled the paperwork around on the desk to face me and smiled, revealing a slight gap between her front teeth. "This is the amount that we can lend you." My mouth dropped open. I closed it before returning the smile. "I won't be spending that much, but it's good to know I can. Don't you go letting a real estate agent try to upgrade you into something you don't need. Who are you using?" "Jeremy Haddad. He goes to Gina's church. Do you know him?" Stupid question, since she knew everybody in real estate and the loan business in the area. She nodded. "Jeremy's a good guy. He'll do you right." With a flinty grin, she added, "If he doesn't, you let me know and I know, kick him in the ass." "Thanks for all your hard work." Letitia lumbered from behind her desk, balanced on her 3-inch leopard skin heels. She wrapped me in another mama bear hug. I hugged her back. "Thanks for everything, Letitia." I walked to my car feeling pleased that all those frugal years of money management and timely bill payments had paid off. From my estimate, the house payment would be more than manageable. This was important since I was losing the security of a second income. The thought made my stomach somersault. As I planned, I met Jeremy at his office at 2 o'clock, ready to search for my new home. He looked up and flashed his bright whites at me. Lebanese with a wiry build, he looked ready to spring into action on my behalf. "Let me grab my binder and we'll head out." He zipped into the back room and reappeared with a binder in one hand and a smartphone in the other. Jeremy always reminded me of a squirrel. He talked and he moved fast. He anchored his phone into a dash mount. After a few taps, his map app appeared along with the first address on a list. He touched start and we were on our way. Jeremy rammed his foot on the accelerator, sending my head back against the headrest. The G-force pinned me to the seat. This app works much better than paper maps for me because, to be truthful, I can get lost in a small walk-in closet. Jeremy glanced my way. His wide smile produced dimples. Was that admission supposed to instill confidence in me? We were en route to Madison, a community midway between my art class in Decatur and my private practice office in Huntsville. I spent most of the journey pounding the non-existent brake pedal on my side of the car as Jeremy weaved in and out of traffic. I nearly bounced out of the seat from surprise when his phone blasted a love song over the car speakers. Jeremy looked over his shoulder, pulled off onto a side street, and turned off the engine. He dislodged the phone from the mount and plastered it to his ear. "Hi, baby. Working. Showing houses. Phoenix O'Leary." Jeremy looked over at me and held up his hands in a What are you going to do, Chester? Gotta go. Love you. Yeah, I'll call you later. He appeared embarrassed. My wife. Sorry, I'd forgotten her name. My memory of her from a chance meeting at the mall was vague. She was thin, pale blonde, with an ethereal quality about her. Cheryl, she's a little, emotionally dependent? I regretted that clinical choice of words and wished I had said insecure instead. Her therapist described her as borderline personality disorder. His complexion deepened to a darker hue. Jeremy knew I understood the ramifications. I raised a brow. I know. He held up his hands to ward off further comments. Don't be surprised if she calls several more times. I looked straight ahead and calculated in my head how many more calls would come from Cheryl while we toured the 6 houses on our schedule in Madison. For a person with that personality disorder, I estimated a total of 6 more calls. I was off by 1. It was 7. None of the houses suited my needs. Each had an irresolvable flaw. The house with the beautiful landscaping and koi pond that I thought the one wasn't. The builder had hacked the floor plan into minuscule rooms and it reeked of cigarette smoke. The house that met my interior requirements had a railroad track that ran parallel to the back fence. 40 yards from the house, I can imagine a train barreling by at midnight with its horn blaring, vibrating me out of bed. When we arrived at Jeremy's office, we made arrangements to meet Saturday morning. Jeremy, I think we need to focus our search on Huntsville. My practice is there, and I'm tired of commuting. He brushed his dark hair out of his eyes. Can't blame you there. Where's your office located? 2 blocks from the hospital. I like to find a home no more than 15 minutes from work. He nodded. I'll coordinate with our Huntsville office and check out their listings. I heard Jeremy's phone sing the song assigned to his wife as he pulled open the door to his building. I rolled up my window, glad to be back in my Prius. On the drive home, I was feeling drained and frustrated. How hard can it be to find a house? 15 minutes later, I walked into my home. Todd hung up the phone and turned to face me. Perspiration dotted his upper lip and his hair stuck up in random patterns on his head. I was surprised by Todd's current state and wondered, what's going on? I didn't tell him where I'd been, and he didn't ask. In a raspy voice, he said, I told Mom that I asked you for a divorce. She knows. This is the end of the chapter, and hopefully I'll see you soon. If you would like, please like my channel, subscribe, make comments. I really appreciate comments and enjoy them. Have a great day, be safe, and be well.